You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Bulls avoiding a 3-game losing streak in their win against New Orleans Pelicans. We're also going to talk about Ayo. Yeah, New England, all right? We're also going to talk about Ayo and his playing ass. Has this ceiling been raised some? And we're going to catch up on not having talked yet about Patrick Williams being out for the season. All that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Pat, the Bulls get a dub over the New England. Now, why do I want to keep saying New England?
It's still football's God, bro. Football's God. That's all.
It is what it is. The Pelicans. This was a fun game, bro. Like all throughout, like the runs, the fact that the Bulls were going a double-digit run, the Pels were going a double-digit run. The Bulls would not score for a little while. They battled back, but then when in the second half when they needed to, they chipped away 24. They won the third quarter 24-22, but then the Pelicans got out to another big lead, and the Bulls chipped away at that. They ended up winning that fourth quarter 33-24, and I love the way that the Bulls competed in this game. We were tied in total rebounds. Turnovers, we had a lot less turnovers than them, even though we tied on points off turnovers. But this was just one of those just entertaining basketball games.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. It was good to see the team fight back in that second half. I thought they did a really good job staying engaged on the defensive end through the entire game. Offensively, you got to tip your cap to what Nikola Vucevic was able to bring you in that third quarter. That really gets the Bulls back into it, right? It goes 5 for 9 in the quarter, 11 points, 6 boards, really kept the Bulls alive in a quarter where pretty much nobody else could get anything going offensively. I mean, Kobe White was trying. You saw him get way more active than we saw him the entire game in that third quarter. Ends up going 0 for 6, literally got to the basket every single time at will. Like had wide open shots the entire third quarter, couldn't get one of them to fall. Alex Caruso kind of went through some of the similar struggles where it was like good look, couldn't get it to fall. Nikola Vucevic just dominating in that third quarter. And that led to a fourth quarter where the Bulls were really able to kind of put the game away, even though it was still close. It was still competitive. Kobe White got himself going in that fourth quarter. Pretty much same as Vooch did, right? Taking over the offensive load. Kobe, all I'm asking is that what you did in that third and fourth quarter, we see the entire game, brother, because when he's aggressive with his shot, you saw how out of position it was making defenders just because they were trying to like, okay, we got to close out, make sure he doesn't get to the bucket, make sure he doesn't get his shot. Now we got a wide open guy in the corner, and we started to see the offense take off in that third quarter. Bulls putting up 33 points, or I'm sorry, in that fourth quarter when the Bulls put up 33 points. Like that was, to me, all stemming from Kobe White really just getting himself going, getting downhill, being able to attack and finding guys wide open. And then the job that Ayo Dosunmu did tonight, I mean, we're going to go more in depth with it, but just the entire game, we talked about somebody needing to step up. P. Will's going, he's done. Zach LaVine is out. Who's going to be that person that's going to step up? And I mean, Ayo stepped up in every facet of the game. When you pair all of that with the defense you saw from Alex Caruso, this is a perfect basketball game for the Chicago Bulls, and one that they have to continue to play like this moving forward.
The effort needs to be the blueprint in this. The way that they executed and gave that effort needs to be the blueprint in that. 29 assists on 41 made baskets. I like to see that be a little bit over 30. But other than that, like even the 3-point, like we know we're not an amazing 3-point shooting team. They went 13 of 40 for 32%. Solid, right? Solid. So those are things that I like to
still need more though. Still need more.
I mean,
that's the only thing. Like that's the thing that I think playing the Pelicans tonight, who also shot a terrible 3-point percentage as well.
Yeah.
That made it more manageable. But that's the one thing where I was like, if we're playing a team that can actually put that 3 ball up, we're in trouble.
True, but the thing that the Bulls did to counteract that, they scored points in the paint. They did that effectively. They got to the rim effectively. So there are things you can do against certain matchups, right?
Yeah.
Like, and this was a game where it seemed like in that first half that we were going to get a Javon Carter good. I mean, he still played an overall good game. He just didn't shoot the ball.
Right. Give him his credit. We can't slander him.
He had the second highest plus minus on this team. He played really, really well throughout, especially defensively in this game. Yeah. And since we don't have its own cutout to talk about it, we got to talk about Dalen. The highest plus minus in the game, other than one other player. Dalen Terry didn't shoot the ball well, 1 for 4. But he made plays throughout all this game where his impact was felt on the game, and it's good to see the young fella step up that way.
Yeah, and I don't think that even, right, like Dalen Terry, I'm not even talking about him in the scoring aspect. He took 4 shots. He didn't shoot the ball. One of those shots was him trying to put somebody on a poster, ends up getting that blocked away, right? Like, I'm not worried about the offensive game from DT tonight at all. I thought that defensively and the effort that he brought on the offensive end, facilitating the basketball, finding guys open, and just being somebody who's being aggressive, again, being aggressive, getting to the rim, pulls people out of position. That allows you an opportunity to find guys open. We saw Dalen Terry do that a couple of times, especially, right, that one assist, big assist, the drum when they gave us the makeup call for basically a horse bleep call on the other end, where Kobe White basically got punched in the face, like he got run over. I don't know what the refs was on tonight. Listen, the officiating, especially down in New Orleans lately, has been wild, right? Like, we saw a man get choked out. That's all I'm saying. Watch your back, Jimmy. But I love the fact that we saw the level of effort from everybody that we saw tonight. Now, was it a perfect game? It was a perfect game from the sense of this is the best that I think that this Bulls team can do. The concerns that I do have, the bench scoring to me is going to be a big concern moving forward. I think that the Bulls, you're not seeing them be able to create enough offense when that bench unit comes in. It turns into pretty much a purely defensive unit where you're like, all right, well, let's try and get some stops here, boys, and just hold out until somebody that can put the ball in the bucket comes back in. Andre Drummond, one of your focal points on the offensive end when that comes in. And the Bulls not attacking on the fast break enough to me. The Bulls shot the fast break really well today, 46% when they actually got out on the break. But we didn't see a second half fast break point until 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Like, with the lineup that you have now, I understand with Vuce on the floor, sometimes it's tough to do, but you got to get out and run. There was a couple of times where I saw the Bulls literally just like standing on one side.
There are also a lot of fast breaks that got broken up because of their own doing, right? Like they played really well in the first half of fast break points. Is how they got the lead back down by 3 at the end of the first half. But then they started getting kind of sloppy in the fast break. The Bulls need to be controlled in the fast break, and I think who leads that fast break is really important as well. They started getting out of their wits a little bit. They were able to rein it back in. Yeah. So I got to give them credit for that, but definitely they got a little bit out of control there for sure. Towards the end of that second quarter and third quarter as well. So
even just pushing it, right? Like there were a couple of times, right? Like I know DeMar threw a dime to Ayo in the corner, and he had Valanciunas under the bucket, and Ayo was in the corner, and he just waited for everybody to come back. And I was like, listen, I get it, right? Like you want to reset. They end up getting a bucket out of it, so it works out, right? But those are the moments to me where it's like when you have those opportunities, you have to take those opportunities. And that's the part where I think the Bulls maybe haven't gotten – the young guys haven't gotten that confidence yet. Kobe will do it, right? You get Kobe on a fast break, he'll stop at the 3-point line and pull that mug in your face. But I think, right, that's where I want to see Dalen Terry get. And like you said, it ended up getting sloppy.
Hey, bro, I need you to run back and pause.
Was that I don't know what I said.
You said pull that thing in your face. That was the pause moment, bro. Pull that thing in your face isn't a pause moment. Try to rationalize that, my guy. That's
crazy.
That's a pause moment.
It's on me. Welcome back. Back on the show, baby. No, I feel like, right, like this is a game to me that you kind of get to measure yourself against a team that is a pretty good basketball team, right? And that has been on a really hot streak. Yes, they were shorthanded because of the fight situation and stuff like that as well. But you get to measure up against, okay, this is what one of the better teams in the league is going to look like. How do we go out and play? And there's teams a lot better than them that you're going to have to face coming up on the schedule. And now it's like, okay, but they shoot the 3-ball better. Are you going to be able to get out? Are you going to take advantage of the buckets that are available to you? Like, those are the only things where I looked at this game and I was just like, okay, I love what I saw. I love the competitiveness, but there's still the small things that I just don't know if we have
things that they need to find. Yeah, for sure. And we're going to talk next up about Ayo Dosunmu and how he's been playing, and has the ceiling been raised for Ayo Dosunmu in our opinion. But before we get into that, I got to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, and that is Grammarly. No matter what kind of work you do, how you communicate is key. All those emails, reports, and presentations are equally important to the collaboration needed to get things done, and Grammarly can help. Grammarly is your AI writing partner to help you communicate more effectively and efficiently so you can make a bigger impact at work. Me and Pat use Grammarly pretty regularly to write these descriptions of these beautiful podcasts you guys see there. So you guys need a sample of the work Grammarly can help you with. Go ahead and look at that. Better writing means a stronger impact. 96% of Grammarly users report that Grammarly helps them craft more impactful writing. Grammarly works across 500,000 apps and websites. By understanding your writing context, Grammarly provides relevant, personalized suggestions. Their tone suggestions can help you navigate even the most difficult work conversations. Make a bigger impact at work with Grammarly. Sign up and download for free at Grammarly.com/podcast. That's Grammarly.com/podcast. Easier said than done. All right, Pat.
I got it up late, but I got it up there.
Supposed to have my back.
That's my bad. That's on me. That's my bad.
Pat, so Ayo Dosunmu, big impact in this game, but outside of just this game, I just want to go over the last 10 games for Ayo Dosunmu. We can even look it out past 20, but last 10 games, Ayo Dosunmu's averaging almost 17 points per game, 16.6, 4.5 rebounds, 3 rebounds. He's shooting the 3-ball at a 52% clip overall, also shooting over 50% from the field. We came into the season. I remember when Ayo started playing well, you said that you needed to see it a little bit more. And to your credit, you say that about everybody who starts playing well. That's always your thing. Do it for longer. Has Ayo been doing what he's been doing for long enough?
I don't know if it is.
I don't know either.
I don't know if it is, but it was borderline.
It's borderline. It's mad questionable. But
I had to hit you with this one. I had to hit you with that face there. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about it.
But with that said, man, has Ayo, are you now a believer in what Ayo's been doing? And do you think his ceiling has risen some from what you came into the season thinking, look, viewing Ayo as?
I'm a believer in what Ayo's doing, but I also, what's the right way to say it? Not I have tempered expectations. Maybe that is the right way to say it. I have tempered expectations on what that's going to be, because Ayo has been playing really well. He shot the 3-ball well. You look at the last 4 or 5 games, right? He's taking 5 or more in pretty much all 5 of those games. He's hit it well a couple of times at a nice clip, 5 for 7, 5 for 8. But when you look at the totality at the end of it, right, you're still getting that up and down player. Ayo Dosunmu to me is, we talked about him being Drew Holiday his rookie year. He's starting to feel a little more Chris Middleton, but not in a bad way, because Chris Middleton is getting paid a lot of money to be Chris Middleton, right? For what we're getting from Ayo, from what I'm looking for from Ayo, solid defense, give me the offense as much as you can, and make impact plays on both ends of the court. I think that that's a good thing to have attached to Ayo Dosunmu's name. I just look at the offensive game, and the offensive game to me, while the 3-ball is starting to fall, still is a little bit inconsistent. And even how much we utilize his offensive game, I think is a little bit inconsistent. But as far as percentages, when you go to him, when you say, I want you to be the guy, he's able to put the numbers are speaking for themselves. He's what, 50, 40, 90 over the last.
Well, he did the 50, 40, 90 in the month of January. I got this question. When you say it's inconsistent, what's been inconsistent? He's been consistently scoring in double-digit points and for well over a month now. So like, what do you feel is inconsistent about it?
It's the double-digit number, right? Like 11 is very different than 18. 14 is very different than the 21. he gives us tonight. I think that Ayo has those games where offensively you're like, he's locked in, keep giving him the ball, here we go. And then they have those games where it's like he's shooting the ball well, but we're going a different direction. Now,
I mean, that's his role.
Donovan.
He's a role player. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like it's not the slight Ayo. What I'm saying is the Chris Middleton numbers for Ayo Dosunmu make sense.
But see, no, when you compare to Chris Middleton is somebody who they look to give offense every single night. That's not Ayo Dosunmu's role, and even then, he's stepping up more times than that. So I guess I take issue with that Chris Middleton comparison, because Chris Middleton, up until Dame got there, they look for his offense every single night.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, that's true. No, he sucks. But it's not a slight on Ayo. It's just like you said, what they're asking Ayo to do to me is not be a 20+ point per game scorer every night. And because of that, I also don't believe, I don't know if he is that guy. I don't know if he is the guy that I can ask to be a 20+ point per game scorer every night, because there are nights when, the 3-ball may be falling, but he's smoking some layups from the right down the middle, right? Like, and he goes away from his own offense to get other people involved. Last night, 8 assists, big assist night. Tonight, 8 assists, getting other guys involved. I just think Ayo is more of the guy that whatever the game dictates me to do.
What you been smoking? We didn't play last night.
You know what I meant. Last game. Last game. It's like,
You've been hitting that recreational a little bit too hard there, my friend.
Yeah, that's after the show. Hey, yo. No, last game versus Boston, 8 assists. Tonight versus the Pelicans, 8 assists. And the assist numbers for Ayo have been better. So I think he just does whatever why? I think
don't take any more days off, because the way you got to get back in rhythm is crazy, bro.
I think he's doing whatever the game dictates. It still feels wrong. Anyway,
it still feels wrong because you said it now. So now it's in the back of your head.
Do you feel like, and I think that the thing is, has the ceiling raised for him, or do you feel like your expectations have raised for him now?
I don't know if my expectations have risen, just because I look at Ayo like a player that he is a role player. There's going to be times where we need him to score more. Like today, Kobe White's first half was terrible. Ayo Dosunmu had an amazing first half. There are going to be times where we don't necessarily need to score him, but we need him to go out there and make a stop, and then maybe just score in transition or be more of a complementary piece. There's going to be times where we don't call plays for him. So I look at that, and I to me, what the ceiling that I saw for Ayo that rookie year, it came down naturally last year after a sophomore slump, right? I think that's natural for everyone to say, but now it's starting to get back to that ceiling that I thought was there his rookie season. So,
but I think even that, right? The ceiling was always, right? Like Drew Holiday was always a role player. Even if Drew Holiday is the ceiling, now he was a upper echelon role player.
Yeah, but he's a role player,
right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I don't think
almost everybody in the NBA is a role player.
Yeah, you got your stars, and you
got your superstar stars, and then role players, and Denzel Valentine's is basically.
But I think Denzel Valentine. No, you got Denzel Valentine's gums, and then Denzel Valentine. Yes. Dog, one of the best flexes I've ever seen by somebody, though. I'm not gonna lie. When they tried to fry him on Valentine's Day, and he said top 5 in threes or top 10 in
threes. Like, I'm top 15 in 3-pointers made for the Chicago Bulls. It's like, hey, he was sitting at home. He was really mad about that, bro.
I said that man slandered an entire franchise for how they shoot the 3-ball, bro. I gotta give him credit.
I don't think that was the flex he thought it was, because he said it like I'm top 15 all time Chicago Bulls 3-pointers made, when it was really all you did is just point out the fact of how much we suck at 3-pointers as a franchise.
Hey, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. That's how I took it, because I was like, did he just slander an entire history of a franchise? Like, what? That is crazy. But yeah, I look at Ayo. I think our expectation of what Ayo was always going to be was a role player. I guess it's just what echelon of role player is he going to be?
Here's the thing, is that I think that I'm back to believing that Ayo can be a starter. I don't think that that's the best role for him. It depends on the rest of the makeup of the team, but I do think that Ayo could be a permanent starter. Like if the Bulls traded Zach LaVine this offseason and we get to the start of the offseason, we're like, well, it's going to be Kobe and Ayo starting as your backcourt. I don't hate that. Now, how are you going to flesh out the bench? Because Ayo was a scoring punch for us off the bench that we need. So now what are you going to do there? But I think Ayo has been in a position right now to where I just look at Ayo and I think that regardless of the role that you call on him, except point guard, because I think that he's not the ball handling and distributor. We've seen now he's better off ball in the NBA. I know he was ball dominant in college, but it seems like in the NBA he's better off ball. But I think Ayo's the sky's the limit for Ayo right now.
I'm excited to see what he's. I don't know, man. Like I would love to say, I do believe he could be a starter. But then I'm like, okay, like how we building out this team with some size, dog? Because listen, shout out to Vooch. Vooch answered the call tonight. Shout out to everybody who played small ball great. But these mugs get exhausted playing small
facts,
ball.
bro. Like Alex Caruso and Kobe got everything iced up right now. I guarantee you they got the big ice packs all over the place right now.
We got to figure out a way to get some size on this team, man. But hey, before we get into this final topic, he gonna throw the Stitch Fix up already.
I got your back. I missed this, man. I got your back.
That was my bad. I took the day off. I got a couple pauses. I missed the logo. Don't worry about it. We'll get it back. We got to talk about P. Will being out for the season, though. That's the one thing that we do have to focus in on, because not only is there the fact that he's out for this season, but a restricted free agent. So what does that mean? But first, we got to tell you guys all about Stitch Fix. With Stitch Fix, everything you need to style yourself is there and available. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist who understands your style, size, and budget. They do all the shopping for you. It's the easiest way to update your wardrobe this season. I use Stitch Fix for years. And why is Tony Brothers on the screen? Get out of here, Tony. Tony, get out of here. I use Stitch Fix for years. It's one of those things where some of my favorite pieces of clothing have come from Stitch Fix. Y'all always talk about me for always wearing that polo hoodie. The multicolor is comfortable. Stitch Fix hooked me up with that. You get great pieces at your budget. Easily upgrade your wardrobe with professional stylists. All I do is give them my size, my style, my preference. I ordered boxes when I want to, or you can get it where they just send you the 5 pieces monthly, and they send you the outfit. All you got to do, try it on. If it fits, if you like it, if you rock with it, you keep it. If you don't like it, you send it back. They make it all so easy, because here's the thing. Y'all know how many podcasts I'm doing, and I'm sorry. I just can't be on Amazon all day ordering clothes like Haize does. So
Amazon, first of all, put some respect on my name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Don't you ever. My drip is way too legit for you to say, I'm sorry. Go continue.
You're a fanatics guy. You're a fanatic. Hey, listen, can you tell I don't shop online at all? Hey, I thought Amazon had good stuff. I don't know. I don't buy stuff from. I'm not buying clothes online. That's why I'm using Stitch Fix. Get locked in with us at stitchfix.com/locked on. Styles that make you feel good as you look. Get started today at stitchfix.com/locked on. That is stitchfix.com/locked on.
My man said,
Amazon. You can't just crazy. Don't fanatics have a store on Amazon? Ain't that a thing? Like, I thought that's how that works. I don't know.
I don't know what to do with you, Pat. Today is you're in rare form today, brother. Rare form is all I can say.
It is what it is, dog.
Post-traumatic stress disorders in high gear around.
The pause is happening. I haven't done a show in 4 days, but I don't know when the last time I haven't done a show in 4 days.
Bro, that's never happened, bro. You've literally been on vacation and haven't went 4 days without posting.
I'm gonna be honest with you, but I mean, I guess those are just built up pauses that would have naturally come out in the regular shows that just got backed up, and now they are coming out on one show. It's crazy,
man. That's wild. But we didn't get to talk about Patrick Williams, man. Over the weekend, late Friday night, it came out that Patrick Williams is done for the season. This is something that me and you both have kind of thought was going to go that way. We both thought that. I think right after the news came down, you literally texted me like, you called it. And we saw that happening. Yeah. What do you think about Patrick Williams officially getting foot surgery? We'll miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, you did call it. I mean, you were like, it's been too quiet. Like, they're probably going to announce he's going to miss the season. Probably a week later, they actually did it. I mean, listen, it sucks, but yes, there's an impact, but like, it doesn't feel like a crazy impact, right? I think that we feel like we lost a bigger piece when we lost Torrey Craig than when we lost Patrick Williams. And that's what kind of sucks about the story of Patrick Williams and how it's gone throughout the season. He did have a hot month. He did start to get better, did start to show you some things, but then, kind of fell off a little bit again. Maybe that's due to the foot. Maybe that's why he's not playing right now. Probably why he had the surgery on it. But I don't know, man. Like I think the fact that you've lost so many bodies is more impactful than Patrick Williams specifically going out this season.
For sure. Do me a favor real quick, brother. Move your mic a little bit. Show your double chains real quick. I need to see something. All right. So Pat has indeed reached his final form. I just want everybody to see
what's going on.
That Pat the Dsigner
I catch the stray on that. And I catch the freezer stray. What?
So Baki said it in the chat, so I had to go.
Oh
no,
yeah,
it was Corn. Corn said it in the chat. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to
man.
y'all just don't know. I'm trying to get the Busta Rhymes status where the chains are just massive for no reason, bro. Like,
Busta Rhymes just be wearing chains for no reason,
bro. And did somebody try to snatch the chain? Is that why he choked old boy up? Fam, the podcasters out here are getting wild. The rappers are fighting. The football players are fighting.
Cam Newton got jumped. Like, what is happening, bro? Like, what? Me and you did an episode over on Views from the Bleachers. Literally said everybody's beefing right now, bro. Like,
it's the beef.
Winter's supposed to be the depression months. We're coming out of winter. Why y'all waiting until now to start beefing?
Bro, Cam was swinging on one dude, had another dude, had him choked out under here. Some dude tried to come punch him. He like dodged that while holding two dudes off. Like, it was craziness, bro. It was craziness. I don't know.
Wow. But to get back on the Bulls topics, yeah, I mean, listen, Patrick Williams going down for the season, it sucks. And like you said, the depth, the fact that we lost both players that played power forward for us, and we have no real depth behind them. You even saw Julian Phillips play, 3 minutes in today's game? Like, it's going to be interesting to see how small ball works for us the rest of the year, because we're now going to be forced to play small ball. That's just what we're going to have to do. Yeah. And in place of that, they ended up signing Ernalot Batim to a actual NBA contract, something that we talked about at the beginning of the season. He's in, but he's not a 4, right? But he's in maybe to provide some shooting at times. Javon Carter's played better the last couple of games, so maybe that's why we haven't seen Batim yet. But what do you think? I know we talked about the Patrick Williams part. What do you think about the Batim part moving into the actual NBA contract? Do you think that means anything this season? Do you think there's more of a next season thing we're looking at? How you feeling, Pat?
You got to play him. You got to play. Like, listen, the Bulls are still losing at math. They shot 33 pointers tonight. Yes, they hit 32%, but you shot 33 pointers tonight. Like, you have players on your team. And now listen, Batim, I don't know what he is. I really don't, right? Like, I don't know if he comes to the NBA level and he's able to knock down the 3 ball. But I feel like if you put him out there, he's going to take it. At least his mindset is, I got the ball in my hand. I'm finna let this mug fly. Like, I just think you don't have enough players that are willing to do that on your team. And so the Unarau aspect of it is just, is Billy Donovan actually going to put him out there? And if you're going to play Julian Phillips, 1 minute? Like, I don't expect Unarau to be getting any time out here.
Yeah, we'll see. And it's weird because Billy Donovan, after the Celtics game, said that Julian and Dalen will be in the rotation going forward, and that just did not happen. And usually, I don't know, Billy Donovan, usually when he says something, it does come to fruition. So I wonder what he saw in this game. Maybe he was terrified of having Julian Phillips isolated against Zion, which I can understand that. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Well, I guess, right, yeah. Maybe because Julian's game literally has been more impact on the defensive end and just kind of being in the right spot offensively. How do you develop these guys, right? Like, Kobe doesn't develop until you start letting Kobe play. Unless you start letting Kobe play, I should say. Ayo Dosunmu doesn't develop if you don't sit here and play him the way that you played him throughout his career. He doesn't get to bounce back if you don't keep him in after a sophomore slump. I don't know their goals with the young players. What direction are you trying to go? Are you trying to go young? Are you trying to build a young team? Or you got to play those guys. and yes, you want to still stay competitive. You want to win games. I'm not saying put guys out there to lose, but you have guys who are on your bench. I think about the young man we just signed to the two-way, Andrew Funk. That's his name, right? Andrew Funk?
Yep.
Andrew Funk. No relation to Neil Funk. The fact that we were concerned by that as a Bulls fandom concerns me a little bit. People were online like, did we just sign Neil Funk's son? But you've got two guys now on your team who literally do the thing that we're asking you to do. And they probably will see a combined 13 minutes the rest of the season.
It's concerning, man. It's just definitely confusing of the things like such reluctance, right, to play. Now, this is a close game. It was a playoff atmosphere type game. Javon Carter was playing really good, but it's like, okay, you shrunk the rotation because Terry Taylor and Julian both basically didn't play any in the second half of the game, so they allow for more minutes for Dalen and Drum and Javon to do their thing. But it's like, at some point, you're going to need that three-point shooting. You didn't need it this game because the Pelicans didn't shoot the ball too efficiently either. But do you really want to wait to throw out Ernolop out there until you absolutely need him? Don't you want to kind of build that confidence in games to get him some reps? Like, I don't know. I don't know Billy Donovan's mindset on that. I
would say, and I think here's the part that's interesting. It's like, why wouldn't you throw him out there in those moments in the third where nobody can hit a shot? Why aren't you trying to put him out there where you're just like, we're begging for offense? Vooch is out there just giving us everything he's got. But like those are the moments, because how many offensive droughts have the Bulls had every game? like I answered the question every game.
I guess that goes back to also the need thing, because like if your team is going through, John, you absolutely need a bucket. Do you bet on DeMar? Do you bet, or do you want to give a chance to earn? And again, I agree with you. To me, you play them, right? Like, give them an opportunity, because when you do need them, if you don't play them, they're not going to be ready to go. So
I think it's just about finding. Listen, you're never going to get the end of the rotation, guys. We didn't expect Unarop to actually get a ton of tick this year. Once we saw him in the G League to start the year, we were like, he's probably not going to play a lot. But I do think that there's something about getting to adjust to the game that you're in, and the only way that you find a way to do that is to be in the game. And that's something that we don't see young guys do with the Bulls at all. I mean, heck, Marko Simonovic never played. He was a real draft pick, and he literally did not get on the floor for more than, what, he had 5 minutes? Did he have one game towards the end last year where he got extended time? Maybe.
I don't know. I won't
when we knew, no, definitely not toward the end of the year. Maybe going into the break. Maybe he got a little bit, but like, it's like you're drafting guys and then you're just like, we're just going to stash him and wait to see what he turns into. It's like, what do you think? He was going to turn into Jesus in the G League? You got a guy down there that's balling like that in Adama Sanago, and he can't see the floor for anything.
Who knows, bro? Who the hell knows? No, you're actually right. The last game of the season, Marko Simonovic in a win played 8 minutes.
That's probably the longest he ever played as a Chicago Bull.
That is actually the most he ever played in the NBA game.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
That's the most he played. He played 7 minutes his rookie year in one game, again in January of his rookie year in 2022. But other than that, the most minutes he ever played in an actual NBA game was 8 minutes on April 9th against the Detroit Pistons.
And listen, y'all know I thought he was terrible, right? I was like, all right, like, don't get dunked on every time you step on the court. You did it again. He just got dunked on right now. But you used an actual draft pick on this guy. It's a problem.
It's a second rounder.
It's a second rounder, yes, but so's Ayo.
True.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a problem that it's like he played 8 minutes in 4 years, 3 years here.
Well, that was one game he played 8. He played more than that totally, but yeah.
Yeah, but all of it was like, go out there. All right,
he played 20 total minutes his sophomore year. So
problem.
I mean, here's the thing though. Did you want them to play him if they recognized he wasn't good? Like, that's the thing that it comes down to. I think they recognized early, like, this dude ain't good. At that point, I'm not blaming you for not playing him. Now, had he went to another team, let's say that he didn't go back overseas and like the Spurs would have picked him up and now he's next to Wemby and we're like, where was this at? That's when I'm complaining about you not playing the minutes.
I don't know, man. And listen, I don't think he was good, but I don't think you give people an opportunity to show if they're good by never putting them on the floor.
Yeah, but if you practice with them every day and they look like trash in practice, you're not getting in the game, my guy.
That's true. I guess there is that. Like maybe
how many times do you think Andre Drummond dunked on him in practice last season?
It probably was every time he had to guard him.
You're not getting in the game, my guy.
Down the court. Yeah. This is true. You're not wrong. If you're trash in practice, I guess like that's the part we're not privy to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that's the part where it's like, if we saw him at practice every day, it's just like, ooh, well, you shouldn't be on the floor, brother. I don't know. How you got drafted? AK missed. Like, I guess that's the part where you're like, all right, he didn't play. But I don't know, man. It just is weird to me. Like, you use that pick on a player. I would love to. I'm not going to break it down now because we're not going deep into Marko Simonovic's life.
That's off-season content. We'll look at the players that were drafted after Marko Simonovic. The Bulls could have hit it, because I'm absolutely sure there's one of them that we absolutely be like. That we're going to be like, what? We missed on that one.
Maybe I'm mistaken. Wasn't Grant Williams a second round pick in that draft?
Was Grant Williams the second round pick? Was he?
I don't know. Hey, follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. Follow me on everything at Pat the Dsigner. Before we get up out of here, though, we back. Yeah. Hey. See red. Kobe White. Got that green light. Ayo from 3. Couldn't be me. Zion couldn't hit. Nate, that's
Zion Williamson and porn stars.
All right, y'all. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. You can follow Pat the Dsigner at Pat the Dsigner. We want to thank you guys. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube. We out this mug. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Zion couldn't hit. Ain't that simple?